All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Harachakodash. That belong to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, the chief guide, and rule well. And greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, hopeful elect. Shalom unto you. Your brush required with a quick video. Just want to kind of go into this draft, which we know has to come, you know, and what I'm gonna hit a few precepts. Matter of fact, before I even get into these TikTok videos, which it'll probably go away, let's see if I can pull a quick script. Bear with me. Okay, I'll start with Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. Okay, and this still hits as a prophecy in the latter times, in these last days. Okay, because as we see, this chapter, or part of this chapter anyway, was going on to how the daughters of Zion, the Israelite woman, is just full of pride and haughty and wanton and all of that, that she will be humbled by taking her glory, basically making her hair so she can't grow her hair the full length like most women in the earth will. Another identifier that the so-called black woman is an Israelite woman, right? But when you come down to the end of the chapter here, and this is being fulfilled on how they'll be brought down to a very low estate as far as beauty goes. At the end of this chapter, it has that right there. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. Okay? Showing how messed up our people will be. Now, when I go to, which I wasn't going to grab these right now, but it still hits, as I see it. 2 Ezra 16, I'll go up to verse 33. It says, the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. Now we know 2 Esdras is future prophetic. So that ties right into that Isaiah the 3rd chapter. Okay? And their husbands shall perish of famine. So these things that the men will be going through was going to affect everybody. Okay? But this is showing you what's going to happen. And then you even go to and you can keep reading into this. But when you go into the prophecy of Joel, the 3rd chapter, speaking about gathering all the nations of the earth for World War III. Okay. I'll start at verse 2 here, which puts a good timestamp on what we're talking about. Joel 3 verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Okay. The valley of decision. Okay. Yahweh Shaphat. Okay. The valley of Yahweh's judgment. Okay. It was also called the valley of decision, I think further down. Excuse me. Talking about judging the heathen. Yeah, right here, 14. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Okay, and basically that's one level of it, as well as when you go into Amos. I'll go real quick. Amos 9 verses 8. But it just kind of gives it. Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and where we've been using this, for America, which it does fit America. Okay, this is like the most sinful kingdom known on earth. Okay, you look at its Bill of Rights and all of that, and all this stuff is just broken, and it just nothing lines up with the Bible. Okay, with righteousness. Okay, but more so, this is talking about us Israelites as a nation of people. Okay, that's the sinful kingdom, because only an Israelite can sin. Okay, because we're the ones under the covenant. Okay, the first covenant, and we're in the punishments of the first covenant, of not fulfilling the first covenant. Okay? And we're not into the second covenant yet, even though the blood has been given, so to speak, or spilled or sacrificed, of Yahweh Shai, that initiates us into the second covenant. But we're still in that process. This is that grace period. Okay? Because it first covers the elect, and then it'll cover the whole nation after death by pain. Well, I should say the rest of the nation after death by pain. Okay? But it says here, and I will destroy from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. Okay? But he's not going to destroy all the Israelites. Okay, the elect will make it out. It says, for lo, I will command and will sift the house of Israel among all nations, because Jacob scattered among all the nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. Okay, with a killing instrument. Where's the biggest killing instrument? War. Whether that's civil war or whether that's world war. Okay? Maybe that's a war of food and famine. Okay? But a lot of our people are going to make it through this. A lot of the men are going to make it through this. And this is talking about this younger generation as well. They are not exempt from anything. Okay? None of the people of the earth are exempt. Okay? It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Okay? Now, when I play this video, this is literally, or figuratively, I should say, what this young person is saying. Okay? And they want to be like, oh, this is just satire and all that. It sounds good. But when this really happens, when this really breaks out, we're going to see how funny it really is. We saw when they start bringing up the idea of women being in the draft, which I should find the article on that or something on that to present in this, Lord willing. Women were like, oh, guess who's going back to the kitchen? Oh, so y'all want to go from independent women and college educated and all that. Now y'all want to be submissive? Well, it don't work that way. Okay, because guess who's... I'm going to get into that, Lord willing. So, but what I am gonna tie this into is the fact that this will be like a plague of Egypt, like a plague of ancient Egypt, that final plague. Okay, the one that really broke Pharaoh. Okay, the one the firstborn. Now, we're not saying that this is the firstborn, but when a lot of people die in this regard, man, people wake up and start snapping out of it, out of that dream state that they've been in. And you got to know that this generation, this youngest generation that we have here now, has been lulled into this dream world. Okay, the youngest adults we have on the planet now have been lulled into a dream world, especially here in the West. Okay, they've been lulled into a dream world that they think that they can just say no, and that's how things happen. Well, that's not how this is going to happen, nor will it be like that when the Lord shows up. Okay? So let me get some of these things.
Is everybody saying Gen Z is going to get drafted? Like, no, we're not. And you know why I know that? Because we're just going to say no. Like, how are they going to...
We're just going to say no. How are they actually going to force us is what he's about to say. They don't think shit's real. You gotta laugh at a. You know what the world is saying about the American military? They make jokes. Russia made a cold. I don't have that, but you could probably try to find it. Russia made a PSA or a military recruitment video showing how weak their adversaries are. Speaking particularly of America in the West, showing how weak our people are, showing that there's women going to war. Okay, showing that this is the type of individuals that they'll be fighting against. Okay, and it does nothing more but amp them up to be free of the dominance of the West. Okay, the world is tired of how carefree. That's why when you go to Ezekiel the 38th chapter, calls this place the city of I'll get it. The village. Let me grab it. Yeah, Ezekiel 38:11, and that will say, I will go up to the land. Excuse me, that's what it is. The land of unwalled villages. Okay, for somebody to be, I will go to them that are at rest. This is this place. They're at ease, that dwell safely. They think everything's safe. All of them dwelling without walls, with no care. They're not concerned about any troubles. Okay? No protection. I don't need protection. I'm good. We have the greatest military in the world. But we need the able bodies still got to be there. And having neither bars nor gates. Okay? And you go further into it, but just leaving at that whole idea of a place that they feel so carefree that they can't be touched. This is what you've built your children and grandchildren up with in this society, while holding captive a people. We're still captive here, man. We can't leave. Okay? Yeah, they told you was free, and Martin Luther King, free at last, but it looks like I'm not free to do nothing, man. Nothing's free, actually. I never got my 40 acres and a mule. Reparations ain't coming. Okay? I can't just hop on a plane, leave, and just go without work and just buy a piece of land and just work there. That don't happen like that. There's a whole lot of other taxes and regulations and paperwork and red tape that still have to go on. The best thing you can do for something like that is to go out the country. But, I mean, really? Who wants to go to where there's turmoil everywhere else in the world? And the places that aren't full of turmoil, you don't really want to live in them places. Okay? Let's be real. All right? So, I mean, it sounds good, but then when you realize, hey, I actually got to catch a boat to the mainland where all the troubles are at and go get toothpaste and soap and all the luxuries that I'm used to, deodorants, certain foods. Okay? Man, this generation is probably the most spoiled generation I've ever seen. But that's there's a saying that goes with that. I'll just use this one. Hard times create strong men, right? Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Okay, and this is the dynamic we're seeing. What do you think this youngest generation fits in? They're coming out of good times. Okay, so these are weak, and these weak are going to have to deal with hard times. Okay, this is the level of this cycle, if you will, of where we're at. All right, let me go back to what all he has to state his case for this generation.
Force us to get up and go to work. We have things to do now. Is everybody saying Gen Z is going to get drafted? Like, no, we're not. And you know why I know that? Because we're just going to say no. Like, how are they going to actually force us to get up and go to work? We have things to do nowadays. We have twerk, be bisexual, eat hot chip, lie. And we're also, like, really mentally ill. I have, like, 6 of these. And finally, like, guns are, like, so tacky. Like, can you imagine?
And just imagine that. You when you went into the Middle East on the war on terror, you did nothing more but bring back pharmaceuticals that your children are now on. This is what happened. How proud could you be as a military servant, military soldier, right? To go to these other lands, pillage and take all of their opium and whatever else you're doing from over there, oil and whatever else you got from over there, but you bring back this opium only to make pharmaceuticals, and now your children are on them. And now they're going to have to go and do what you did over there. You're going to have to go through the training and they may not even get the proper training and get sent over there. Imagine that. Imagine this person in a uniform. There's probably an 80s spoof movie about this or somewhere like that. But just imagine, this is who's guarding your country. This is the people that the generation that will defend your country. And what we say in the Bible that this place is doomed ain't true. Okay, when the scriptures say in Isaiah the 63rd chapter, the fats overflow, the grapes are ripe, the fats overflow, something like that. This is part of what it's talking about, man. It's nothing. It's never been a better time to release the Israelites or to destroy this place for all of the BS that goes on in this place, man, in the world. Okay, that's why it says, real quick one. 2 Edges 15:6, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Verse 8, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Okay? Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Okay, and I'm gonna just stop there, and I got a precept that'll pop up later. But yeah, let me get back to this, man. I mean, the pride and the arrogancy is like out of control. It's like completely out of control in this place, and no one is understanding what's really at stake. Well, it's okay because we of the hopeful elect are can see what's going down and what's about to come down, and there will be another large crop of elect that will wake up to this. But for the most part, we see it and we know it's nothing but a good thing to come. Okay, all of this pain and peril will be a good thing for the whole earth and for everything in it. Okay, releasing the Israelites and initiating the second covenant within them so they can govern the world in a righteous way is what's very needed in this place. Okay?
No, we're not. And you know why I know that? Because we're just going to say no. Like, how are they going to actually force us to get up and go to work? We have things to do nowadays. We have twerk, be bisexual, eat hot chip, lie. And we're also, like, really mentally ill. I have, like, 6 of these. And finally, like, guns are, like, so tacky. Like, can you imagine just, like, pulling up with a gun? Like, that is so embarrassing. Like, what is this? The Revolutionary fucking War? No. Like, let's just chat. It's not gonna happen, don't worry.
Shouldn't worry, I don't know. I did the legal research and I don't think you're gonna like what I found out. Current law says that all Gen Z males must register for the draft. If Congress passes a law that authorizes war in the draft, then selected Zoomers must go to war unless they have conscientious objector status. Now that's really hard to get. So if you don't have CO status and you still refuse to go to war, then you face up to 5 years in prison and up to $250,000 in fines. So it is not legal for Gen Z to refuse to go to war. I'm Ian Corzine, and that's my take.
Is everybody
Okay. Okay. That was the real law term on it. Now let's go into what they proposed just recently. As a matter of fact, it's not a joke, but it is a joke. All right, so we'll start right here. It says I Googled women to military draft, right? It says while women officers and enlisted personnel serve with distinction in the U.S. Armed Forces, women have never been subject to selective service registration or a military draft in America. Those women who served in the past and those who serve today in ever increasing numbers all volunteered for military service. Right? Sounds great. Now let's go down who cannot be drafted. Exemptions: ministers, certain elected officials exempt so long as they continue to hold office. Funny there. Veterans, generally exempt from service in peacetime draft. Weird. Immigrants with dual nationals in some cases may be exempt from U.S. military service depending upon their place of residency and country of citizenship. Yeah, if it's a country that you're in war with, of course you don't want them, right? But watch this though. Look, I just click over the news. 3 days ago, will U.S. draft women and all volunteer military is still right choice. Right? Yes, women should be a part of the military draft. Look at this. Women registering for draft debated by lawmakers 2 days ago. Click on that. This is something that's being talked about, women. Okay? This is being talked about. Okay, but here's where the joke is. I'm not gonna get too deep into that. We've kind of hit the point that this is about being drafted into World War III, and that this will be a plague like unto ancient Egypt, right? But watch this. For real? Okay. And this is Marfugel News, the official on Twitter or X or whatever. Man, we are in trouble. Look, sponsored. Join the military as a senior and earn up to $75,000 bonus. Search for military job opportunities. Are they serious? And look, they don't just have older men. That's an old couple women right there up front. Really? Now this is probably AI picture or something. That may not even be a real picture of anything, of any, like she probably ain't in boot camp and about to go to war. But the idea is being fished. The idea is being debated. All right. And this was just in here now. And I even went to the Reuters fact check. House bill would automate selective service registration already required. Okay. So, as that was a joke of saying that they're even going to enlist the elderly, what does that mean for you Gen Zs and whether it's men, women, or whatever? What does that mean for y'all? That means they got to go. That means you got to go or suffer the consequences, which the guy said 5 years in prison and $250,000. Somebody's going to go. They can't make us go. Yeah, they can make you go. They can come to your house, take you into custody, and fly you over somewhere. That can happen. That doesn't seem far-fetched for a military to do, especially one this tyrannical, right? But this says the House of Representatives passed a bill seeking to automate the registration of men aged 18 through 26 for the Selective Service System, which has been required by federal law since 1980. Contrary to social media posts suggesting the bill makes registration a new requirement or reinstates the draft, right? And see, it's not saying that that's what's happening yet, but they're already getting ready for it. Those selective services papers come around. That if the draft is coming, that okay, sign me up. Here's where I'll be, or here's where I'm at, and here's how to find me. That's what they want you to do. And it's a problem if you don't. You have other issues federally if you don't. Okay? I'm saying if you don't even sign up for the selective services things. So the Republican-led House of Representatives passed H.R. 8070, titled Service Member Quality of Life Improvement and National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2025 on June the 14th. This was just passed last week or whatever this was. It includes a provision to automatically register those who are required to register for selective service system. Okay. So AI is probably going to set that up for you. They're just going to go through and they know who's who and who's what, and they're just going to link you. They're trying to link everything to the system, man. You guys don't get it. This CHIP is where it's at, man. The MOTB is where they're moving. Is where it's at. They're moving toward that. Okay, it still needs to pass the Senate and be signed by the president, which we know he could do it. He don't care what he's signing. He don't know. An Instagram video says House passes defense bill automatically registering men 18 through 26 for draft. It's now mandatory for all male U.S. citizens to register for the Selective Service, also known as the military draft, when they turn 18. Failure to register is classified as a felony. All right, and they try to say that there's missing context to that, which I'm sure there is. There's always more to it. Okay, but let's not forget that the prophecy says World War III is coming, and I've read a couple precepts on it already. Okay, and not only that, I've read that there will be war. I didn't really go as deep into that as much as I went in that the men will be dying in war. There will be no bridegrooms because of the war. Okay? So let's hit some other precepts. I'll just pick up from right here. All right? At verse 10, 2nd Ezra 15, verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. And a lot of you jakes is going to go. You're getting in that gung-ho American spirit. Yeah, keep that up. Some of you are just so far from it, though. But it doesn't matter. They're going to try to send all of y'all. Okay? I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And this is talking about Egypt again, or modern-day Egypt, which is known as America. Not the ancient Egypt over there that we walked into. Okay, and then walked out after the plagues. Okay, and then crossing the Red Sea and so on and so forth. All right. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So as ancient Egypt hit plagues, this place is going to have plagues, and it's been getting plagued. Eclipses have been coming around here. There's been plagues as far as pestilences happening over here. Yeah, in other parts of the world as well. Okay, but it's happening here, as well as these animal kills, fish kills, okay, earthquakes, natural disasters, tornadoes, fires. All these things are still happening here. Okay, this is the red flag. This is the red flags. Like, hey, the Lord, this is the time that the Lord's coming back. Okay. Anyway, it says, as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. This place is destined for the land to be destroyed here. Okay, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that the Most High Yahweh shall bring upon it. Okay, and so one of those plagues, let's get it, is right here in Exodus 11. Okay, we'll start at verse 5. All the firstborn of the land of Egypt shall die. Okay, what do you think these people are going to this war to do? I read the precept that said they ain't coming back once they die, and they're gonna die in the war. Okay, but it ain't gonna matter because, okay, when you fly off to the Middle East, to the land of Jehoshaphat over there, and the Fertile Crescent, the Middle East over there, when you fly over to go fight over there for whatever reason, just saying it like that. Okay, for whatever reason you're over there, there's not going to be a place to come home to. There's not going to be America to return to anyway. Okay, we just read it. He's going to destroy this land. We just read it. What do you think the lake of fire is in Revelation? We just said it. Okay, I didn't get this one. Let me go back. Revelation 12:12. Rejoice, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Okay, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Okay, I want to hit that part because if you're down here on earth, you got to deal with this, man. Rejoice, you that are in the spirit world already. Okay, and those that are destined to be there for now. Okay, woe meaning destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. If you live on this planet, it's woe unto you, man. It's going to be a time as never seen since there was a nation, even to this very same time, as it says in Daniel. I think that said that in Daniel. Okay. Right? That Michael the archangel will have to stand up. Right? It says, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he hath but a short time. And the physical counterpart of the devil is who runs this world right now. Okay, his nation is in rulership. It's the Edomites, starting with the chief house of Amalek. Okay, they're the ones running this thing. They're the ones controlling the beast as well as the dragon. Okay, and they're even controlling the whore that rides the dragon. Okay, and the whore that rides the dragon, we should know, is America, and that beast and the dragon is the ancient Roman system of the modern Western nations after the Renaissance that built up a similar empire upon the built from the Edomites, built up another similar type rulership from ancient Rome and Greece, and we're back in that today. Okay, and it's meant to be destroyed. All right, let's go back to Exodus. I start at 5 again. It says, all the first, Exodus 11:5, and all the firstborn of the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and the firstborn of all beasts, all of the firstborn of beasts. Okay, and I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but this plague right here is going to be felt in a similar way when we watch all these kids getting drafted off, man. Okay, and we don't know, even some of our children may be drafted. Okay, some of us that have older children, okay, may be drafted. Hey, this is hey, we got to take the bitter with the sweet. You know, this is what it is. Verse 6, and there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt. Okay, in America, man, there's going to be a great cry, and that cry is going to go out when they see bad things happening over there, and then when they see the missiles flying over here. There's going to be a great cry in the earth. Okay, showing you that that's attributed to this place, man. Okay, there's going to be a cry for the people that flew over there to perish, as they were set up to do, or the people that came over here to perish, or that stayed over here, I should say, to perish, or even that came over here. A lot of you Jakes that walked in through the South, that got into this country, you're here to serve your judgment, man. To come here, be wicked like you're hoping to be, and then to get your judgment. All right, it says, there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it anymore. Okay? But against any of the children of Israel, you know, we know that one. Should not move. There's a difference between, and that I'll even just correlate this, but as I read it, it says, but against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast. And that means the elect are going to be safe, man. That's really what I'm correlating that to. In these times, how it still fits the future prophecy. The elect will be as the regular Israelite in ancient Egypt. In modern Egypt, it will be the elect. The rest of you Israelites that are not of the elect, you got to go through death by pain. Okay? That they may know that the Lord have put a difference between the Egyptian and Israel. And he also, in these times, put a difference between Israel and the elect of Israel, the Israel of God. Okay, the house of David. All right, a few more priests. Yeah, I'll read this real quick. This is pretty good. Judith 5:10. But when a famine covered all the land of Canaan, this is showing you back when the Israelites were still in the land of Canaan. Okay, before they were the Israelites. Okay, it was basically Abraham left, and then they began to sprout up a little bit, okay, into the 12 patriarchs and all of that. And then the famine came when Joseph was sold into slavery, and then they had to come down because of the famine, and that was covered in Exodus also. Well, at the end of Genesis, but then it's over there. It says, they went down into Egypt and sojourned there. While they were nourished, they became a great multitude, so that one could not number their nation. Okay, the Israelites grew in captivity under the ancient Egyptian captivity. All right, so therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them and dealt subtly with them and brought them low with laboring and brick and made them slaves. Okay, made them work with rigor, put more hell on them, and the more they put hell on them, the more they multiplied, right? I think that's in Exodus, the 1st chapter. It says, then they cried unto their God, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues. And what do you think we're out here doing, man? We're crying unto the Heavenly Father to smite this place, man, to take this place down. So if once you get drafted, you're getting drafted into a situation that's set up for destruction. You wonder why people don't take the Bible seriously? You pastors haven't been reading these scriptures. You're not putting the proper people and the proper things in place, because you know you're going to lose your congregation. But some of you are starting to pick up on some of these cues and clues that the Israelites are breaking down, And the people are getting so into it, they're like, okay, well, I'm more into it now because the pastor's breaking something down for real. Okay, because they're not saying it's the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites and the Israelite foreigners that are scattered amongst the heathen. They're not talking about them. They're still saying like the congregation's still good. And it's not true, man. Okay, the whole truth. It says, incurable plagues so that the Egyptians cast them out of their sight. And that's what's going to happen. But when these missiles come, we're going to get cast out by being beamed up out of here, not to partake in their plagues, as it says in Revelation, the 18th chapter. Okay? To be not partaker of her plagues. The fire and brimstone that's hitting this place, and those that didn't get chosen as the elect. All right? Real quick, this one, 2nd Ezra 16. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. And if you look at where that's at, that's them continents up there. Okay, that's that Middle East. That's that Northern Africa. That's even the continent of Asia. Okay, and they also hold symbolic other clues as well. It says, gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children, because you dressed down and you really was almost put on rags, because you were so, there's nothing to be all cheerful and wear cheerful clothing for, man, because destruction and woe is coming, right? Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. All right, and that's for all of us. Your children are going to be sent over to another place to be destroyed, and you're going to stay here in this place to be destroyed. I'll say, okay. So that's what it is, man. Okay, that's what the scriptures, that's what the future holds according to prophecy in the scriptures. Okay, and this message, they hate this message, though you can feel it's true. Okay, and we're watching the prophecy start to write, jump off the pages, as brothers say, but being written on the wall. It's written on the wall already. All right, so I'll close with this one. Wow. Straight to the point. Verse 8 is a good chapter also. Speaking of the Israelites. Yeah, I'll go straight to the point, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. And what he said, we got to be by, we got to do all these other things, we got to twerk and whatever else he was talking about. This man, we knew in the book of Jude and in 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter, it told us, hey man, those that lived that ancient way of Sodom and Gomorrah, gonna die it was as an example, and if you live that way, you're gonna die the same death. Okay, and this place is picking up that same tone as ancient Greece and ancient Rome did, and now here we go, bringing that back up, and here we go, Sodom and Egypt now. Those are the two identifying spirits of this place. Okay, where also the Lord was crucified. So all of this has to come to a head, man. Okay, this has to happen and come to a head. All right, and so that's pretty much the point. I'm not going to go much deeper into it, but just showing you that this place is still a modern day Egypt, and one of those plagues, man, is your children being killed. Okay, when they get sent over into that draft and in that war, and you elected officials are passing these judgments on your children, but it has to happen. Why does it have to happen? I read the precepts in according to the scripture. It's not just because I feel. I read the scriptures that go right along with what's happening in the earth today and current events. Okay? So Lord willing, for the hopeful elect, this was edifying, man. And to you that also received this message, and you're not of the hopeful elect, hey, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? I got nothing for you. If you're not an Israelite, I got nothing for you. If you're not of the elect, I got nothing for you. We don't know who is. But if this strikes a serious chord to make you want to repent and change your ways and submit yourself, your whole heart, mind, body, and soul unto Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai, hey, more power to you. So Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai, B'Ashem Harachach Wadash, that belong to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, hopeful elect. to the next one. Shalom.